All stories have to have a beginning. It's just about where in life the author decides to start the journey of the character. Hi, my name is Isaac Fisher, and this is my road to faith. I was born and raised in our beautiful city of Abbotsford, and have been going to church my entire life. I have thought about getting baptized for over a year, but I kept putting it off because I felt nervous and entirely unready to call my faith my own, instead of piggybacking off my parents. Going to a public school and having people around me that were always talking about the latest material things, always wanting more and more, drove me to question if God exists and why I was placed on this planet and in this school. Most of the struggle was eternal, and I felt myself caught up in the crowd of lost sheep. I had no clue who to talk to discuss my thoughts. My parents have always told me to come to them with my questions, but I felt like I'd be looked at differently if I told my parents I did not want to become a Christian. So I kept my feelings bottled up and tried to work through them myself. Throughout this time, I was trying to build what little faith I had and failing miserably. From the outside, my life was all put together and as good as it could be, but inside there was an identity crisis. I had no clue who I wanted to be. What made it even worse was seeing all my cousins around me publicly declaring their faith. Then around Christmas this year, one of my cousins asked if I wanted to do the counselor training program at Camp Quanos on Vancouver Island, and I agreed, hoping that maybe I might find something that would help me to discover my faith. Then in February, Marcel came and asked if I wanted to do the baptism class. I agreed, worried about what I'd gotten myself into and how I was going to publicly profess my faith when I had so little. Then as Quanos' application finished up and I was accepted into the program, the opportunity to do a weekend of serving over the May-long weekend. During my time there, I felt like something clicked. I had an overwhelming sense of joy and connection to something I'd never felt before. I felt like I was part of something greater, with people around my age that strongly felt the way I did, happy and willing to serve in order to bring others to Christ's table. One of the few conversations that we had before we went to bed really stood out to me. We were talking about the parable of the wise and foolish builders and discussing the meaning behind the rock. And I thought to myself, I want to be on that rock instead of struggling through the sand at the bottom. And that is where I decided to begin the climb. It won't be easy, and there will be many false handholds along the way, but the Lord is always there to dust me off and help me to start climbing again. The Lord will be your confidence and keep your foot from being snared. Proverbs 3, verse 27. And this is why I've publicly decided to declare my faith today.